What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/MaliciousCompliance. This story is called, I'm Not Allowed to Eat in My Room? Well, I guess I won't eat. I want to start off with saying you should not do what I'm doing. Choosing not to eat is unsafe. Okay, so important information is needed to understand. I have multiple medical issues. All affect me in different ways. A lot of food causes me to get violently ill and causes me to throw up. Some food leaves me with severe muscle spasms in my stomach and intestines. In certain cases, if my intestines spasm too much, I will start to bleed internally and we need another week-long stay at the hospital. Even if I eat the right food, I can still get sick and be in a lot of pain. So between all the pain and being sick and nauseous, my eating habits have gotten really bad. To the point most days I only eat one meal and maybe one or two little snacks. I honestly don't remember the last time I had 3 meals in a day. Another part to this is that I have very bad anxiety and depression. In fact, my anxiety is so bad that I have PNES, which stands for Psychiatric Non-Epileptic Seizures, meaning if I am too stressed out, my body will go into massive seizure-like spasms, which most last many hours. It really is under 2 hours. So due to the fact that I am overweight and people comment on what and when I eat, I feel too stressed to eat in front of people. So last year when my issues got too bad and I could no longer work due to my health, I had to move back home with my parents. I'm 28. After talking to my nutritionist, counselor, and doctor, I would just always eat in my room and keep some food always on hand, so that way if I feel like eating, I could eat and feel safe. And by having food on hand, I am more likely to eat more since I don't eat enough as is. So having food next to me would encourage me to eat. And my parents, especially my mother, comments on everything right now. Nothing is right. So eating around her is extra hard. For example, my sister was in town and so we all went up to Mexican. I have not eaten all day and was actually quite hungry, and chicken tacos fit in my diet perfectly as long as I don't eat the tomatoes. So I ordered a 3-taco meal, which comes with rice and beans. Immediately, both my mom and dad start talking about how I'm not going to be able to eat 3 tacos and that I should have only ordered 1. My response was, well, I know I can eat tacos without a bad reaction, so I should be able to eat the 3 tacos. And like most of my siblings, we bring home most of our rice and beans and make rice and bean burritos the following day, which is also in my diet as long as I eat gluten-free tortillas, so corn tortillas. And they just kept talking about how I'm not going to eat all that and that I'm just wasting their money by ordering such a big meal. Well, I actually finished everything, the tacos and the rice and the beans. Like I said, it fit my diet and a good night would not have a bad reaction. But then, even when I was able to finish it, they just kept telling me how I'm probably going to make myself sick and would probably end up throwing it up. Well, I didn't, but this should explain why I feel uncomfortable eating in front of people, especially my parents. Well, because I'm living with them now, they don't like me to keep my food up in my room nor eating in my room. I kept trying to explain why both my doctor and nutritionist and counselor all said that I should do this to encourage me to eat more. It's not like I kept food that would go bad or need refrigerated, or was it junk food? I kept like rice cakes, Cheerios, granola bars, pantry stable fruit bars, a few apples, sparkling water, Powerade, and other similar things. And when I brought a normal meal from downstairs, I would bring it in a paper bowl or plate so I would be able to throw it away in my garbage when it was done. My parents still do not like this, so I end up having to sneak it upstairs, which they also didn't like. So finally, after being yelled at again for bringing my food upstairs to my room, I told them that they had 2 choices. Either they let me bring my food to my room or I don't eat at all. They go, yeah, we'll see about that. I mean, I'm already eating practically nothing. It would really not be that hard for me to just stop eating at all, so that's what I did. This happened 4 times. The first 3, they typically ended up giving in for a few days. But within, still tell me I have to eat downstairs, to which I gave the same response and we started the process over again. So finally this last time, even after they gave me permission to eat in my room for a day or 2, but knowing they would reverse it again in another day or 2, I chose to continue not eating. After about 4 days, they were actually willing to listen to what I had to say about why I need to eat in my room. I have not heard about it again or been told not to eat in my room, so hopefully they finally realize that me eating in my room is actually a good compromise to me not eating at all. They still comment on what I do choose to eat and what I buy at the store for myself. Again, I'm not encouraging others to not eat food. It is very unhealthy and not safe, and I honestly wish that I could eat more without getting sick. But my point here is that they did not respect what I was doing to try to encourage myself to eat more and to try and get healthy again. So I made them choose between my health and their house rules. And yes, I will move out as soon as possible. I'm in the process of getting disability for my long list of medical problems, so I can qualify for government housing away from them. I have a ridiculous amount of stories and issues with my parents. My headache is really bad, so I'm gonna stop here for now. Also, I thought I should put this out there. I did still have some hidden doctor-approved snacks in my room, so I wasn't truly not eating anything. They just thought I was. I'm not foolish enough to not eat anything with what little nutrition I had in my body, but they thought I was not eating at all. As the amazing rapper and actor Will Smith once said, "Parents just don't understand, man." This story's called, Seriously? Over a candy bar? I have 2 part-time jobs as a library assistant for 2 separate libraries in my area. The first one is one of the best jobs I've ever had. It's a small library, but super fun. Love my coworkers, and my trustees are usually pretty cool. The second one, well, it's a larger library. My coworkers are super nice, but one of my trustees does not like me. I've been here almost a year, and she seems like she is out to get me. Well, yesterday kind of proved it. So one of our most frequently broken rules is that you're not allowed to eat in the library. You can have food in the conference room if there is an event or your staff. Here's the problem. I only work solo shifts, and the conference room is on the exact opposite side of the library. Seriously, the front desk is on the front left side of the library, and the conference room is on the back right side. So if I go eat my dinner in there and a patron, how we refer to customers because they don't really purchase anything, comes in, then it takes me a minute to reach them, or I risk them having to come find me because I didn't hear the bell on the door. So typically, I eat my dinner at the desk for maximum customer service. My boss, head librarian, understands this and has no problem with this as long as I clean up. Well, yesterday, one of my favorite patrons came in. He is super nice and owns an old-fashioned candy shop up the road. Now, he's tried to tip me before, but I have told him I can't because I'll get in trouble, so the last couple of times he has been in, he has given me a candy bar as a thank you. Sometimes it'll be one he made. His caramel pretzels are amazing, but sometimes he'll just bring me a Snickers or something. He will only bring me the pretzels and homemade stuff if they're fresh. Seriously, he makes the pretzels by hand and everything. Well, yesterday I helped him out, and per usual, he gives me a huge crispy heart chocolate because Valentine's is coming up, and he knows I'm quirky and love holidays. I come to work every day wearing a crocheted burger hat my mom made me, and typically a nerdy dress or shirts. I'm not the kind of person who hides my geekiness. So he leaves and I sit at the desk to eat my candy, one happy little nerd, when in comes my trustee, who we will now refer to as Entitled Woman. I've just taken a large bite of my candy when she comes in and turns to the desk where I'm sitting and levels me with a glare and a smile worthy of a Batman villain because she thinks she's got me. "What are you doing?" After swallowing my chocolate, I finished putting the books away and I was just about, "You can't eat out here, you have to eat in the conference room, it's policy." Internally going, it's just a candy bar. "Are you arguing with me? All food must be eaten in the conference room, it is policy." But I eat at the desk all the time. Sue, head librarian, not a real name, said it was okay because I work alone and that way I'm not running from the other side of the library. "You've done this before?" Yes, Sue knows. "Well then." She sounds totally offended and walks off to find a book, and I think it's over. If it were over, would I be here? I come in the next afternoon to find a written warning from her and Sue. Sue apologized and said she has to sign it to show it's been seen and dealt with, and tells me not to worry too much about it. Oh no, I'm not worried about it, I'm so mad. Well, I began to sit and stew about this until I saw the note about the trustee meeting tomorrow night. Sue leaves me a note to remind me every month so I know that I can't get to the microwave in the conference room and to bring a sandwich instead of something hot. I'm fairly mischievous and my dad is the king of malicious compliance, so I know exactly what I have to do. So last night, before I come in, I get all the fixins from the grocery store to make loaded nachos for dinner. Chili, cheese, the works. So I get to work and the trustee meeting has just started and I know Entitled Woman has a big presentation for the meeting, So I sit and wait. When I start to get hungry, I politely knock on the conference room door and enter. Entitled woman had just started her presentation. Sorry to interrupt, I just need to make dinner since I'm not allowed to eat at the desk. Sue immediately clues in to what's about to happen and shakes her head with a smile. I take it as my go-ahead for what I'm doing. Whatever, just hurry up. So I go to the microwave and start my work. I heat up the chili first, and while that's cooking in our very loud microwave, I start fussing with the chips, making as much racket as I can, and even though I have my back to her, I can feel her glare. Once my chili's done, I put the nachos in and microwave those next, while mixing in some chopped peppers from the supermarket with the chili for a bit of extra crunch. Nachos beep loudly, and I take them out. Whoops, not enough cheese and not melted enough. Add more, and in they go. This goes on for a bit, and I am finally done with my nachos. Entitled woman is fuming at how loud I am, and it doesn't stop there. I sit in her vacant seat next to Sue, who is red in the face, trying not to laugh, and then I start eating my nachos. So they're loud and crunchy as it is, but I typically don't eat crunchy food because I'm a loud chewer due to a click in my jaw from an old injury, so it's extra loud and annoying. Entitled woman is red with anger, and I just sit happily eating the sweetest nachos I've ever tasted until Entitled woman's presentation is over and my plate is empty. I clean the dishes and go back to the desk with a smug grin. Fast forward to today when I come in and Sue tells me that from now on, the trustees would prefer me to eat my dinner at the front desk. Victory! Edit. Holy crap, this blew up! Thanks for the award, guys! Someone had mentioned getting the policy changed, and we are having our start of the year policy meeting in a few weeks. I'll make sure to talk to Sue about editing the policy. Thanks so much! Edit 2, talk to Sue. She told me that the food policy was going to be updated and wants to sit down with me to work out the food bit with her and my coworker so that we can all make sure the new policy is to all of our satisfaction. I know you guys aren't too happy with Sue, but who do you think explained to the trustees why quiet little local anime nerd, or OP, was so rude and chomped through the whole meeting? Because as we all know, with Karens, it certainly wasn't Entitled woman. I'm also totally dreading the fact that I kind of forgot that once the next trustees meeting comes up, I'll be requesting a small amount of money to do a Dungeons & Dragons program, and it's something that they have to vote on, or else I'll have to go to our Friends of the Library group, which is a group of patrons who donate a large sum of money to help our libraries fund programs they believe in that the trustees do not. So potential part 2? Perhaps I'll update when I find out. And she was never heard of again. What's new with Entitled peeps? They have the power to ruin your day, and they will, because they've got the power and they love lording that huge, monstrous, throbbing power member. This story's called Today I Fudged Up by Playing Dead by Daylight with the Window Open. So I was at my sister's and her partner's house this weekend, and we decided to play some video games. I've always wanted to play Dead by Daylight, and we all have Xbox Game Pass, so I downloaded it and started playing it. It was the first time any of us played this game, so we're figuring out good tactics and how the enemies worked. As it was our first time, there were a lot of scare moments with shouting and screaming. 30 minutes into the session, the door knocks. This is how that conversation went down. The cast is us and the police. Knock. Hello? Hello? It's the police. The police open the door and walk in. They see 3 TVs, all of us sitting on a sofa holding Xbox controllers. We got a call about a domestic situation, as we got a call with someone screaming, "He's got me," but I think we can see what's going on. The police were relieved because they were hungry. We offered them crisps and they went on their way. Cute little story. Cute little story. But whoever called the police, good looking out. Even though it was a false alarm, you gotta appreciate when people call the police on your behalf. I'm sorry. I'm sick. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.